How's it going today, everyone? My name is Nick, and today we're going to be talking about Disney's Aladdin remake from this year. I don't think I need to tell you the story, but for those who are not paying attention in the back, here's what it's about. Aladdin follows a street thief named Aladdin in the fictional city of Agrabah. He stumbles upon a lamp and releases the genie that helps him out with trying to get together with the Princess Jasmine, as well as trying to avoid Jafar and his forces. It gets a little harder and harder every time to even review any of these remakes, because there's really nothing that I could really say that is full-on positive. It's really the same every single time. It's either they botch the story by a long shot, or they stay way too close to the original film that it makes the remake really redundant, and in this case, I feel like that's the same. But what do I know? Once you already realize that fact, Disney is already building its next park with your wallet. To say that Aladdin 2019 was a magical dud would be an understatement. I'm sad to say that there just isn't enough here for a pure justification as to why it needed to be remade, other than the tried and true nostalgia buck. What if this version of Aladdin was like the remake of True Grit, where they followed the book more than the original, and the film maybe have a Middle Eastern director as well to add the authenticity of the piece? Not only would it be distinct from the story, but it would also be distinct from a directing level as well. But no, we gotta have the marketing giant of Big Blue.
But sir, what about the portrayal of Middle Eastern culture?
What of it? Just because you fix the issues you had from the original, it doesn't distinguish it enough from the original. Well, if the story is the same as before, with some minor touch-ups here and there, well, what about the acting? Well, surprisingly enough, the genie, played by Will Smith, is actually the best part of the entire film. While yes, the CG is still mostly noticeable and at times garbage, his performance is all his own, and I felt he really tried his best, because this must have been one of the hardest roles he's ever done on screen. Unlike other roles out there where they could be played by anyone, like Michael Myers, the 1992 version's genie was specifically animated and written for Robin Williams. Once you tie an actor and a character together like that, there's nothing you can separate it. It's kind of like with Tony Stark being played by Robert Downey Jr. You just can't separate those two people. And so, I think for the most part, I felt like Smith had a decent time with the character. He kind of made it his own in a little way. He had his own sense of flair and his own sense of energy. Granted, it's not quite as matched up as Will Smith or as Robin Williams' version of the genie, but he tries his best and he tries to be as respectful as he can. Naomi Scott, who plays Jasmine, would be my second favorite actor, not just because I felt like she was one of the only actors giving a shit about the role, but she does not. Naomi Scott, who plays Jasmine, would be my second favorite, not just because I felt like she was one of the only actors giving a shit about the role that she was in, but she does enough with her own role that she is very tolerable, and I also kind of like how this version of Jasmine is portrayed. At the same time as turning down princes like in the original, she also wants to become the Sultan herself. Not only does that play into politics today, but it also matches with the character as well, which I also like. As for the rest of the actors, either I was really bored by them or I was cringing at their performances. And no, Aladdin wasn't a cringeworthy performance, it was just boring. Granted, this mostly isn't the actor's fault, as I do feel like it's always going to be the director's fault in this case. And that is, of course, for Guy Ritchie. I don't think Guy Ritchie knows how to direct some of these characters and actors. Jafar is the easiest example I could ever give. Jafar is also easily the worst villain to be portrayed in a Disney remake film, in my opinion. The actor is fine. I've seen him in other projects. He's great when he's under good direction. But Guy Ritchie made him so bad. I don't think he was even the best choice for a role like Jafar. as well, you know? He doesn't really fit the almost snake-like presence that the character presented in the original, or even the level of malice that he was able to bring in the soft undertones of his own dialogue. His costume design is also really laughable. Good colors, though. I like the colors of it. But when it comes to the shoulder pads that they put on him, it looks like a damn Power Rangers outfit. It looks like the Green Ranger's, like, breastplate from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It just looks so laughable. Now that we looked at the acting, this is also a musical, after all. So how did they handle the musical sequences? Well, unfortunately, it seems like Guy Ritchie and Disney only cared about one sequence, and it feels like they spent 80% of the budget on it, and that is the Friend Like Me sequence, which admittedly is the best sequence of this entire film. Legitimately. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the film, but it doesn't fully save it. The music was fun, the visuals they utilized are also fun, and they really made use of the genie's magic in some creatively fun ways. Some of it is a little bit different than what they do with the original, which is fine, I feel at least. The rest of the numbers are shot so plainly, though, and so blandly with tracking medium wides that only follows the faces of the actors. It just made for more of a boring experience rather than having some energetic flair to it. And I don't think Guy Ritchie was really up to the challenge when it came to making a musical, and in the end, I was mostly bored by the whole affair. As for other notes that I have, the production design at times is fine to look at, but the throne room looks like a stage play set and not a full-on throne room. And in terms of scope, this is so small. In the original, Agrabah was surrounded by an ocean of sand, adding to the sense of magic and wonder that could be under that sand. What kind of mysteries could be there? And it also left an atmosphere of mystery, and it really brought you into this world of magic carpets and genies. But here, they have an ocean port and turned Agrabah into a normal port city, like nothing special about it at all. Just Agrabah. All of this really leads to a less than stellar film, in my opinion, that has small hints of magic, but on its foundation it has hollow cement. While it has points I like, and while it isn't as bad as Dumbo, I still find it hard to even recommend the film. If you're at least curious about the film, maybe I'll give it a recommend, but this ain't it, Chief. I'm gonna give Aladdin a D+. Thank you guys so much for watching my review of Aladdin. Do you agree? Do you disagree? It's fine to disagree. It's fine to agree. It doesn't really matter as long as you have an opinion. This is just my opinion of Aladdin, and I can't wait to talk about Brightburn. See you in the next video. Peace.